Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, Stuck in the Mud. I am Kirsty and today I'm going to be talking about rumination and why it isn't helpful for OCD. Because OCD is quite sneaky and it tries to make you believe that ruminating over your intrusive thoughts is going to make you figure everything out. It's going to help you problem solve and create some sense of security and certainty. But that is false, because all that does is feed into that OCD cycle or the looping thoughts, and it doesn't give a positive result. It's not a positive strategy for working with OCD because it just reinforces that your thoughts mean something and that it's going to solve everything. The problem is OCD won't give up and it's going to feed into the looping thoughts and starts giving them power. And the problem is it's just going to go round and round and round, and you get into that OCD rabbit hole where you're constantly trying to figure things out, but that gives way to a lot of doubt as well. And guess what happens? It goes round and round and round again. Then this gives host to a lot of uncomfortable feelings and emotions like anxiety and sadness, anger, frustration, guilt and shame. And I've been doing it for probably most of my life without even thinking about it, because I think that is a thing with OCD, is where we constantly want to figure it out. We want to have some certainty. And unfortunately, this is not the way to do it, because all we're doing, like I say, is giving that power back to the OCD, and it's got you hooked. It's got you hooked into the thoughts and the intrusive thoughts and what everything means. And the thing is, by worry and rumination, we're not going to figure anything out. It just gives way for more doubt, and that just kind of filters off. Let's say this is the intrusive thought at the top of the pyramid, and it just kind of filters off into all different kinds of thoughts, and they're not helpful. They're not helpful at all, because it just makes everything bigger. So what we need to do is bring some awareness to our thought when it comes in and stop it as early as we can before it starts filtering down off into all these other kind of thoughts and intrusions. Because if we can stop it early enough, then it doesn't get bigger. OCD's main goal is to get you hooked in as quickly as possible and then create more doubt and fear, because at the base of all OCD thoughts is fear. And what does this mean? What does this say about us? What happened? Why did this happen? And we're just hooked. We're hooked in, and it's getting bigger and bigger. So creating that awareness just makes us aware of when that is starting, because I found with my intrusions that I was getting involved in them and I didn't even know I was, because I was so used to doing it. It's just becomes a way of life. And if that's the way you've always done things, I mean, for me, when I had OCD, I didn't really know what it was. And that's unfortunate for the time I had it, because when I was younger, no one really talked about OCD and what it is and what traits there are of OCD. So for me, I didn't really know, but now I'm aware of my thoughts, and when they're coming in, I can go, oh, there it is, an OCD thought. I'll let it do what it wants to do. And it's very hard at first to kind of detach from it, but you have to let it be there. Just let it do what it wants to do, but don't get hooked in, because when you feel yourself getting hooked in, just go, no, it's okay. I know you're an OCD thought and I'm not getting involved. Another strategy for rumination is postponing worry, postponing the intrusion. So we'll go, oh, there's a thought, and I can feel myself wanting to get involved in it. Nope, I'll deal with that later. So what we're doing there is we're just moving it along in the day. Now, when later comes, you can do the same again, the same strategy. not dealing with you right now. I'm moving forward with my day. I'm going to get on with my day and do what I need to do. I'll deal with you later. And that's fine. You can keep moving it along. And that's really good, because what you'll find is it'll fizzle out. It doesn't give way for all this. Like I say, you've got your thought intrusion there, and it doesn't filter down into all these other thoughts and intrusions, because we're moving it along. We're moving it to later in the day. And you know what? If you have to give yourself 10 minutes worry time, just set those 10 minutes and let yourself kind of get involved in it. But then the aim is really, though, is to move it along again. But if you find yourself you're getting involved, don't beat yourself up, because that's the thing. It's just being gentle and kind with yourself. And you can move it along, or you can get involved for a bit, but try and shorten that amount of time each time that you're giving yourself to get involved with it, to a point that you will forget what the thought was, and it'll just fizzle out on its own. And that is the main aim. And I talk about this a lot in my videos with the detached mindfulness and letting the thoughts be there. And it is difficult at first. I'm not going to say it's easy, and it takes a lot of practice and consistency. But with that consistency, you will find the less involvement, the more these thoughts will come, and the more they will go quickly. And that takes time. It takes time. And it's something I will slip up on myself. You know, there's some days where I find that the thoughts are coming in and I'm finding it difficult to let them go. But the more I've learned about being kind to myself and being gentle and going, no, it's okay. You know, I got involved there. That's fine. But I'm leaving it now. I'm going to let it be there and do what it wants to do. And I really understand how difficult it is, because I've spent the best part of 40 years getting involved in intrusions and ruminating over my thoughts. So yeah, it's hard, but with the consistency, it will get easier and easier, believe me. Rumination likes to keep you in the past and going over the past events and trying to figure that out. But it also might be present things that are going on, or it might be future events that you're ruminating about. Whatever it is, it's not helpful. And all these things keep you from being present in what you're doing and how you're going about your day and enjoying your day. And it keeps you from enjoying what's happening in the present. So what we need to do is just be mindful and aware that when these thoughts come in, the earlier we can get to them, the better we have the chance of letting them be there and letting them do their own thing without getting so caught up and so involved. Because all this takes away from living the fulfilling life that we all deserve to live. And we often don't realize we're doing it. And I think this is key for me, is knowing when I'm doing it and being aware of when that starts to happen. Because the earlier I get to it, the easier it is for me to come out of it and not get myself so hooked onto the thoughts and intrusions. Because it takes so much time. It's really, really time consuming when you think about all these things we will worry about and ruminate about. And it takes away from so much what's happening in the moment, what we can enjoy in that moment. And I have found recently, with that awareness, that I am lifting out of it and just enjoying what is happening right in front of me, because we all deserve to live that fulfilling life. And I hope this has been helpful for you today. I hope there's something here that's made you think about when you're possibly ruminating and you're not even realizing it. And hopefully we can catch it further up at the top of that triangle before it filters off and gives us all those extra thoughts and just looping thoughts, looping intrusions that never seem to end. So let me know in the comments if this is something you're aware that you do, and if this strategy has been helpful at all. And let me know what you think. So I will see you in the next video, guys. And remember, you are not your thoughts. You are so much more than that. See you next time.